pace with control of this race. Here comes a run from Davey Hazard. He blocks the 10. Not going to be enough. Ryan Pace is going to win at Talladega.
Trying to hold off Wilson. He's done a good job so far. Wilson, one last desperate attempt to the bottom. He won't get there. Nick Curry wins at Bristol.
Coming out turn number 2, coming down the back straightaway here. Looks like he's in a class of his own right now.
Merzlak, one final time, get around the 55, big time send.
He hits the wall, he hits it, he gets the lead, but can he hang on to it? Oh my goodness, he made it to the line!
Big push down the backstretch is going to give him a good run through the corners.
It's a little bit
follow from the 1.
A little bit of contact there for second, but coming to the line, Toby Roberson's going to take home the checkered flag and victory here from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of the HOBO Racing Truck Series live from the Dover Motor Speedway. Hello and welcome, folks. My name is JoeTowNetwork. We're going to be joined here shortly by my colleague Joseph Weaver as we head to the Monster Mile here tonight for 125 laps, or 120, laps of racing action from the first state in the Union here in beautiful Dover, Delaware. We're so glad you joined us here tonight. Again, 120 laps on the docket for these HOBO Racing Truck Series stars and trucks. This, of course, is your AutoSim 2 race preview. AutoSim 2, premier text-based motorsport simulation game. You can now get your own copy right on Steam. 120 laps around here. I'm Joe Weaver, joining us here in a moment. It's about all you need to know, Weaver, is these drivers are out there qualifying right now and getting things squared away, but Dover, it's the Monster Mile for a reason, and this thing could go out and bite these guys.
Yeah, Joe Miles is very hungry. He's always looking for his next meal out here. So hopefully these drivers today can avoid his grasp, but you never know what's going to happen here at the concrete jungle.
Do you think Miles, does he prefer trucks versus cars versus pedestrian vehicles, or what do you think? Does he have a preference, you think? Or?
I definitely think he don't like the pedestrian vehicles. They just don't have enough, oomph for him.
Oomph, okay. Is that the technical term?
Yeah, they ain't got enough octane.
Well, qualifying has concluded. Weaver, why don't you take us through tonight's starting lineup?
With pleasure, Joe. Starting on pole, set a time of 23.722. It's the 28 truck of Keith McLean. Outside row 1 is the 33 of Mark DeCenza. Row 2 is the 31 of Jeff Stacanis and the 73 of Herman Reese. Row 3 is the 25 of Ron Simpson and the 44 of Dan Rubino. Row 4 is the 9 of Fugate and the 00 of Gary Jackson. Row 5 is the 14 of G.J. Hinsky and the 59 of Duke Sorensen. Row 6 is the 77 of Daryl Johnston and the 07 of Steve Rubino. Row 7 is the 11 of Steve Grant and the 24 of Mopar. Row 8 is the 7 of Rob Heath and the 10 of Randy Smith. I'm sorry, I'm reading practice times.
Oh,
Joe,
no.
Oh, man.
We are all sorts out of it.
I was like, man, there ain't enough people on this list. Man.
You want to start over?
I have to.
Okay, here we go. All right. Scrub that last minute from your memories, folks. Weaver, why don't you take us through tonight's starting lineup?
With pleasure, Joe. Starting on pole, set a time of 23.708. That's a 33 truck of Mark DeCenza. Outside row 1 is the 28 of Keith McLean. Row 2 is the 78 of Ryan Johnson and the 31 of Jeff Stacanis. Row 3 is the 73 of Herman Reese and the 25 of Ron Simpson. Row 4 is the 00 of Gary Jackson and the 59 of Duke Sorensen. Row 5 is the 07 of Steve Rubino and the 44 of Dan Rubino. Row 6 is the 10 of Randy Smith and the 9 of Fugate. Row 7 is the 77 of Daryl Johnston and the 7 of Rob Heath. Row 8 is the 49 of Irv Johnston and the 24 of Mopar. On row 9, we have the 14 of DJ Henske and the 11 of Steve Grant.
That rounds out our field here tonight.
That it does in correct qualifying order that time.
Well, we were just trying to give the fans at home all the information, right? You're giving them practice times, you know, to make sure they can make an informed decision if they're out there maybe betting on this race tonight.
I think they got a casino down here on the backstretch, don't they?
They do.
We get any comp, rooms or anything?
No, we didn't, because the Cup guys, because NASCAR was actually here, so they push us out on the weekend, you know?
Can't have nothing.
No, we can't. We're unfortunately still the second fiddle.
None of these drivers out here tonight looking to be second fiddle to anybody out here. Putting in the practice laps here.
Yeah, making sure you get through your last little bits of adjustments here if you want to make them. Set sail and get ready to go for a whale of a time here tonight. Again, 120 laps around the Monster Mile, 120 miles. Nice and simple math for us here this evening. Wanted to give a big shout out to Ryan Johnson. He was the champion last year and elected to take some of the funding that he would normally get for winning the championship and donate it towards our race broadcast here tonight. So a big thank you to Ryan for that, and a big thank you to Steve Rubino for reaching out and contacting us, and as always doing a great job. He'll be in that 07 car here tonight. I'm sure we'll have a bunch of Steve Rubino fans in chat at some point here this evening. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe. Again, doing so helps support us so much here on JTN, the JoeTow Network. When you subscribe, it's man, it does a lot. It does a lot. It makes me happy, which is good. I always like to be happy and try to stay happy as much as I can, but at the end of the day, I mean, if you're not subscribed to JTN, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't know what you're really thinking, because you've seen enough. We got enough out there. If you don't like us, well, that's a you problem. But
that's a you problem.
If you do, and you're not subscribed, why?
Best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, right here on JTN, right?
Yeah, I mean, we don't mess around. We don't read off practice results as qualifying results until we get almost through the list. We don't do those things.
We don't make those silly little gaffes that like the lesser broadcasters would, right?
Exactly, Joe. We're professionals. We never make mistakes.
No, never. Ever. Never make mistakes. We don't cancel broadcasts because of personal plans either. Or
not us.
Not us. We are 100% dedicated to this craft. Isn't that right, Weaver?
110%.
Oh,
110%.
I didn't even think that was possible, folks. I guess it is because we're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, they're lucky because we could be 120, but we don't want to blow everybody else out the water. We figure we give everybody, a chance at least.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Ann, for tuning in here tonight. Danny, going to be out there on track in the 44, and we appreciate it as always. Y'all have given us so much love and support here over the years. We say a lot of the things here at the start all in good fun at our expense most of the time, but yes, we appreciate it, and we hope to continue to give you some of the great coverage that you've you've come to know, and hopefully you enjoy and love. Trucks being lined up here on the grid as we wait the command to get engines fired from Dover.
Drivers, start your engines!
We Mark DeSenza in the 33. You see that Wrangler Chevy rolling off from the pole. Keith McLean going to be to his outside. Ryan Johnson and Jessica Ennis there in row 2. Row 3 is Herman Reese and Ron Simpson. Row 4 is Gary Jackson and Duke Sorensen. Rounding out your top 10 tonight, it's the Rubino brothers, Steve and Danny, 07 and 44 respectively. Rest of your field, we'll show them here. Weaver, are you ready to go racing?
I'm ready, Joe.
You're ready?
I'm ready.
Ready. How ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
As you'll ever be.
just hope these drivers are as ready as I am.
What was that?
I hope these drivers are as ready as I am.
I'm sure they are.
Well, you better be, because the pace truck has just hit pit lane. 33 truck in control, waiting for that green flag.
And away we go. We are racing here from Dover. I'm stepping on Weaver's toes. Descends it down into turn 1.
Nah, I just decided to try and take the job once, you know. It's tough. Descends going to be able to clear himself up in front of that 28, but he's going to fight back to the inside. Keith McLean now going to be clear of that 33 going through turn 4.
So Keith McLean takes over the lead here on lap 1 in the 28 car. So outside pole sitter leads lap 1. Descenza falls back into second. Ryan Johnson now third.
Jeff Stakanis settles into fourth with Herman Reese rounding out our top 5 here early.
Welcoming Chris Bagwell in chat.
Everybody working themselves into a single file, looking for that bottom. That's where you're going to want to be here. Don't think it'll be long before we see some of these drivers start trying to save some tires here. Tires are going to be a premium here today at Dover.
Can you run a different line to save tires, or is it primarily all about that entry and exit speed?
I think mostly just entry and exit speed, making sure you're not leaning on them too hard through the corner. You know, getting all that speed scrubbed off early in the corner so you're not sliding the tires. Definitely can run a few different lines. I think it's about 2.5 truck lengths wide here, the groove is. So you'll see some drivers running a little higher up, some a little lower, really, you know, bottom feeding, but for the most part, just look to these drivers to manage their pace very early. Oh, Keith McLean gets loose, goes up the track, has a big wobble. He's going to lose a few spots here. Back into third, might lose fourth. Might go back to fourth, rather.
Yeah, so Keith able to get down there in front of Stakanis in the 31, so he'll settle into the third position in this 28 truck. But as you said, Weaver, a big bobble, and we saw derails the 28 from leading this entire run here to the first car, or to the first set of pit stops. And as Keith now tries to get at least second place back from Ryan Johnson, it's going to allow Descenza to try to pull a gap and pull away with the lead.
See, already he's got himself a decent lead. These 4 lead trucks have also broke away from the rest of the pack as it is, so Descenza really trying to grow a good lead here.
Ryan Johnson moving over there for the 28 of McLean, so Keith's going to go up into second position. So we lose our cameras there on JTN, unfortunately. We'll try to get those back loaded, Weaver, but early on in this race, it's been Descenza and Keith McLean pacing the field, but really just a lot of single file action, all these drivers trying to hug the bottom.
Yeah, trying to find that good line, manage what you got here early. Descenza, like you said, setting this on the field, still kind of growing that lead. McLean trying to start reeling them in here, but hasn't been able to knock out too big a chunk of time. Meanwhile, the rest of the field, led by Herman Reese in fifth, is starting to catch up to third and fourth position.
We get our cameras back live here for folks at home.
Johnson and Jeff Stennis there in third and fourth.
Talked about Herman Reese. He's got Simpson and Sorensen right there behind him. The 29 and 59 trucks. 25, excuse me.
Top four kind of spread out, but you get from 5th back on to about 10th place. 9-car Fugate back there in 10th. They're running pretty close, tight under a blink, and have been this whole run. Gap back to the 28 of Keith McLean is getting smaller and smaller, Joe. Not taking big chunks out, but a little bit every lap for that 28 car.
How, when you're behind the wheel, do you want to get numbers back about how you're closing in that gap, or do you just care that that truck in front of you is getting... Oh, no, Descenza blew up!
Oh, no!
And
Oh,
McLean's around here at the front of the field. Caution gonna come
oil.
out.
Oh my goodness, Joe.
Well, just when you thought you had things figured out, Lever, what happened? Go on board with Keith McLean here. You watch the 33. Lose the motor heading down into turn 3. There it goes. And yeah, he just gets into the oil there and goes for a spin off of turn 4.
Yeah, I think caught a little bit of oil, maybe caught him off guard, just having that 33 off pace like that. Very, very odd place to see an engine blow. Only way it's blowing on corner exit like that is a truly random. No shifting or anything involved there.
Hate that for that team, right? Nothing they could have done.
Absolutely. Put it on the pole, was having a good run here early and over before it really got started for him. Also a tough break for that 28 of Keith McLean. He's going to have a lot of traffic to go through to get back up to the front, but at least his car still got power.
Ryan Johnson able to win the race off of pit road. Sikenis, Herman Reese, Simpson, and Sorensen your top 5. The first caution of the night, you got a little bit of run on the tires. Are you making any major adjustments, Weaver, or are you still kind of waiting?
I don't think I'm making any major adjustments. If you felt something was up, maybe now is a good time to make a small change, but you want to know what this truck can do on a long run before you really start making big changes. I don't know about you, Joe, but if there was one pit road that I despised on the calendar, it was Dover.
It was?
Yeah, I feel like I was good for at least one speeding penalty a day here.
What about, like, skewering yourself on the pit wall?
Yeah, I think I did that once. I remember one time in a practice session, Colby Martin was driving off pit road.
Mm.
Somebody wrecked on the track, hit that pit wall so hard it hit him on the other side of it.
Oh, no. How did that happen?
NR.
Oh, okay, come on. Give us a little fun, a little pizzazz.
NR.
Welcome in, Zach.
I can't put much pizzazz on a guy phasing through a wall to hit another car.
Yeah, I know. Welcome in, Zach. Welcome in, Greg. Magoo, welcome. Make sure, folks, if you're out there and you haven't already, click that like button on the video and subscribe. Coming back to the restart, Ryan Johnson with control. Coming lap 20 of 120, 101 laps to go when we get the green. Back underway as the field shuffles down into turns number 1 and 2. Have to wait till the back straightaway to make a move to try to make a pass, but really no one in position to do so here off the initial jump, Weaver.
Oh, 24 Mopar loose. He's going to save it down on the apron. Real nice save from that 24 truck.
Great save from the 24, but a lot of ground lost. So Ryan Johnson back out in front of the field in the 78. Coming up on the 49. Slow here, heading down into turn 3. Everyone gonna be able to go on by.
Oh, we got a wreck in the back, Joe. 24 Mopar hard in the inside wall.
Big hit here for the 24. You see the front end smashed in on this Dodge. Caution out here for the second time tonight.
That was a rough one, Joe.
They're splitting the lap truck there, and oof. Big hit for the 24.
49 Herb Johnston was the slower truck there in the middle. So 24 just trying to sneak by on that high side, but things get real tight on corner exit here, so did not end up working out, and that's likely going to be the end of the day for that truck. Well, they are still out there. They might try and keep going.
Whole field gonna come down pit lane here and top off. These drivers go 60 to 70 laps on a tank of fuel, so any little bit kind of gets you in a better spot right now. Keith McLean wins the race off pit road, fuel only. Bunch of 2-tire stops here. 78 Ryan Johnson losing a bunch of positions, but elects to take 4 tires under this caution. Welcome in, Barb. Doing races here on JTN. Budget Customs 200 Maverick Night in America, Tuesday, April 30th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time from New Hampshire. Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series action Thursday from Indianapolis. And then the LMZIM, hashtag LMZIM 180 from the Mexico City Road Course, Tuesday, May 7th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Those races and much, much more. All, of course, going to be live right here only on JTN, presented by our friends at SchemeHaven.com. Go give SchemeHaven a look. Only one retiree from tonight's race so far, Mark DeSenza, after losing a motor. An unfortunate way to end the night, Weaver, but, you know, if I'm being completely honest with the folks at home, I'd rather lose a motor early in the race than late in the race.
Yeah, I can get behind that. I mean, ideally, wouldn't lose it
You
at all.
wouldn't,
But
right.
I guess if you're gonna randomly take me out the game, just get me out of here early.
At least just get me out of Dodge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Base truck lights are out. We'll go back green next time by.
Keith McLean going to be leading us back to green after those pit stops under yellow. Only a few laps under green there, but nobody's passing up a chance to come down and get fresh tires here at Dover. Worked out real well for that 28 of Keith McLean. I think he ended up just taking 2 tires both these past 2 yellows.
Welcome in, Dalton. So Keith with control here for the restart, coming to lap 28. No tires on the 28, so an interesting note indeed. Green flag, we're back underway, and already Sekenis with a big dive to the inside, heading down his turn 1.
What, was it no tires or was it 2?
Keith was none. Everyone back to the 78 was 2.
Actually, because I'm pretty sure Keith McLean on that first yellow after he had spun only took the right side tires.
Oh.
So as to not lose so many spots and gain some back from that wreck. Herman Reese getting passed by Ryan Johnson here on the entry of 3. Johnson's going to be clear. '59 of Duke Sorensen looking for a move on the 10 of Randy Johnson. Randy Smith, sorry.
I was gonna say, I didn't realize we had a Hall of Fame pitcher here.
A long day, Justin. Long day. I'll just combine the 2 that we got here with Ryan Johnson, Randy Smith. Ryan Johnson, though, running in third, starting to close in on Sekenis here for second. Top 3 running pretty tight here.
Help us as they're coming up on the 49. Really slow this time in turns 3 and 4.
Boy, that might have caught him a little off guard there on corner entry.
You think?
Just a little.
Tiny bit? Eddie getting really close to the apron there. Weaver, there's something about putting that left front tire down on the flat that these drivers, they like to play with throughout the race. I don't know if you have any insights on that, but all these drivers are trying to get as low as they can go through the corners.
Yeah, I mean, the ideal line here is wrapping that bottom as tight as you can. And I think it's just part of how long these corners are. You kind of want to turn more at some point, turn less, so you kind of naturally just end up hitting it. It's a quick apron to come up on, too. I feel like a lot of tracks you go to, you got the track, you kind of got where the line's painted and maybe a little bit more before you actually get on the real apron. Here it's just, you got that concrete surface and it flattens out real fast on you.
That upsets the car a little bit, right?
Don't make it happy. Top three, still putting some more time between them. In fourth place, Herman Reese.
Herman there in his Escalade. I believe they made a Cadillac truck, but it was like an Escalade track, or it was like a rebadged Chevy Avalanche.
I was going to say it was basically just an Avalanche.
Huh?
It was basically just an Avalanche. I think they called it the Escalade something though, didn't they?
Yeah. Rebadging and all that. You love rebadging, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's worse things out there.
Like most of the cars I like. He's
yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Folks, we encourage you, if you haven't already, please, oh please, drop a like on the video and subscribe. Again, doing so helps support us so much here on JT, and it also shows your support for these drivers out here doing a great job. It's Keith McLean leads, Jeff Scanna second, Ryan Johnson third. You see no tires, 2 tires, 4 tires right here at the front of the field, all kind of coexisting for the time being. Have to think that the 4 tires will come into play on the 78 eventually, although we only ran a couple laps before that last caution, so don't know how much of an advantage they're going to play, but do think that there's a little bit of good to get out of those tires compared to those of the 2 trucks in front of them.
Yeah, we could be seeing that 78 right now just kind of, minding his time. He's not really losing any time amongst the canvas in front of him, so could be just riding around waiting for those leaders' tires to fall off, and that's when you're really going to start getting the life out of his.
Slow and steady wins the race. I see Dalton and Greg in chat. Hey, being slow and consistent is better than being fast and a menace, let's say. Can I say that on TV?
Absolutely.
Good thing we're not on TV, right?
Well, we probably should be, but...
I mean, probably do better than the Fox guys, right?
Probably not worse.
Be hard to do worse with what little resources we have compared to them.
Yeah.
Bill Johnson there in the 77, gonna get right in front of Stakanis on corner exit. That's really gonna stall out the momentum of the 31. It might allow Ryan Johnson to make a move here on our second place truck. Yeah, it's a tough battle to fight, Dalton.
Oh, almost trouble back there with Herman Reese. Got real close to the rear bumper there of Dale Johnston in that 77. Herman had to chase that caddy up the hill.
And Herman taking a wider line right now through the corners in the 73. Does that, like, higher line, does that help your tires at all?
It could. It really just depends on how you're getting there.
Now he fully sends it down into the corner, completes the pass there on the 77. Gets by the lapped car, truck. Update, see Steve Rubino there in the 07. Just inside the top 10 right now. Coming back there in 8th position, Weaver, correct me if I'm wrong. Is Steve Rubino?
Yep, that would be correct.
Wow, I can count, folks. Close it in on halfway through this one here from Dover. I'm Joe, he's Joe, up here in our booth for JTN's coverage of the HOBO Racing Truck Series. Remember, if you want to find out more about HOBO, you can go to hoboracing.com. We have it linked down in the video description below. Keith's going to go ahead and put Mopar a lap down here in the 24 truck. There's heavy damage sustained on the front end of that vehicle, and you can still kind of see it here. Most definitely playing a role in the loss of speed for Mopar here tonight. Good looking truck, though. Here, Rubino starting to apply some pressure here to the back of the 59. You also see Fugate going by Gary Jackson in the 00. Pass for position there. Position number 9. Gordon right now also trying to find a way around Randy Smith in the 10. So you got a three-way battle here for position. Keep your mind out of the gutter. That was a genuine Weaver chuckle, too. I appreciate that.
I see our top three really spread out here. Just kind of staying a little closer to first place than he is Johnson there in third.
Halfway through this one here tonight, you see Sorensen to the inside of Randy Smith for position. Randy continuing to hold on to the spot. Again, coming up on lap traffic here, that's Mopar in the 24. Bugate has gotten into this battle as well. You see Smith complete the pass on the 24. We are losing connection to the server, it looks like, Weaver, on our end, on our camera's end.
No, it's coming. It's coming.
I don't think so. Weaver's gonna take us radio style here in a second, probably. Take us radio style, Weaver.
Well, they're driving in circles, making some left turns out here.
Have you never listened to MRN? Or PRN?
Yeah, well, the wonderful thing about that, Joe, is it's usually about 5 or 6 people, you know. And they only have to say about 10 words apiece before it's on to the next guy.
I'll give our timing and scoring a second here to update. Sorensen again getting to the inside of Smith for position. Complete that pass. See Rubino's turn next to try to find a way around the 10. Welcome, KJ.
Further ahead of them, Ryan Johnson about to slip into the clutches of Herman Reese. Ron Simpson there not too far behind. It's all in our top 5 battle for third. We got Rubino side by side with Smith down into turn 1. Gonna complete that pass. Fugate now follows him through, and he's gonna clear him. That 10 truck not handling too well here at the back end of the run.
About 40 laps since the last round of pit stops here, Weaver. So you're kind of seeing whose truck is set up for the intermediate to long run as we watch those laps tick by and you approach the window to make it to the end with the pit stop. KJ, but it's been a good race up till now. 3 cautions in the first 27, 28 laps, Weaver. We've run green since, knock on wood, that continues, but been a good little race here tonight for these Hobo Racing Truck Series drivers. Saw Herman Reese now getting by for 3rd. Ron Simpson following him by Ryan Johnson for 4th. Still out front, though, it is Keith McLean in the 28. That lead over Jessica Kennis is stabilized, but it's a pretty healthy gap back to 2nd. 3rd place, though, is now Herman Reese in the 73, and he'll try to mount a charge to get up into 2nd and hopefully the lead.
Keith McLean's going to duck off. He's going to come down pit road early here.
Well, remember, he didn't take any tires on the last pit stop, so he'll be the first to pit lane with 50 laps to go.
Oh, we got one around back. The Smith in the 10
Oh,
truck.
no.
Oh, no.
Well, Keith was already on pit road, but he's going to have to drive through here, Weaver, because he can't afford to lose a lap. And he will lose all of his track position with this caution coming out right as he made that stop.
Yeah, that was awful timing there for Keith McLean.
So you replay the contact here. 77 gets into the 10 on corner exit of 4. Big hit for Smith. Then another hit there with the 14 of Hinsky. Here comes Mopar in the 24. Oh, fourth caution of the night.
Fourth caution of the night, lap 71. Definitely expect to see everybody coming down pit road here.
Again, big loss of track position for Keith McLean in the 28. We last of the lead lap trucks to pit here. See everyone coming down this time, and this should set them up to make it to the end of this race, Weaver.
Yeah, this is the money stop. We saw Keith McLean earlier in the race. He had that incident, was able to take 2 tires to kind of maintain his track position. Not going to have that liberty. Has to take 4 tires here for sure. So, going to have to make a run through the field, maybe count on a couple of yellows.
And how mindful do you have to be to not overdrive the truck in this situation if you're the 28?
You have to be real mindful, because if you just go out there and try and get in it all early, which is, I mean, your best chance to get spots, but you're going to just lose them, give them all back towards the end of the run. So you really got to balance getting them the most spots when they're the most available, and also not killing your car.
Weaver, if you could visit any stadium in the United States right now, what stadium would it be?
A stadium. Well, like for a game, or just to, you know, like a tour visit type deal?
Pick your own adventure.
Well, I think personally I'd have to go with Lambeau.
Okay.
Got to get that one checked off. I would love to go see something in the Oakland Coliseum before it's gone. I got a weird infatuation with that place. Just looks right in my mind.
Okay. Any others?
None that I could think of right now. I mean, I wouldn't mind going to all of them, just being a sports fan, you know.
Yeah. You've been to Jacksonville, you've been to Amalie. Sure, you've been to more. Those are the 2 that are coming to mind right now, though.
I mean, as far as the major league sports, yeah, that's it.
Oh. Welcome in, Allison. Welcome in, Michael. Getting ready to go back green here, coming to lap 76 of 120. Jeff Stennis with control for the restart. And back away we go. Green flag once again. See some wheel spin there out of a lot of these truckers. We run down into turn one.
Single file restart's probably letting us get away with a couple there with all that wheel spin on that restart, but everybody's got it nice and figured out going through 1 and 2, now heading down into turn 3. Jake up at the front, just Canis taking over. I lead Herman Reese there in second. Ryan Johnson trying to make a pass down low on Ron Simpson.
Greg, the draft was awesome. I see that question in chat. We're going to have a video over on Track and Turf hopefully this week. I got to start editing together our footage I took of things that I wanted to share, but you can check out Track and Turf for those videos, and I'll be sure to post some photos as well. Michael, I'll try to get back to you. I'm trying to confirm scheduling on Chris's part, because I know I won't be available for July 6th or any weekend in July, unfortunately. So I'll try to I'll reach back out to you to your message over on Facebook. And for folks that are looking for broadcasts, as you see Ryan Johnson go on by Herman Reese for second, you can reach out to us on Facebook to find out more. And again, we encourage you to make sure you go to our Facebook and make sure you like the page. Follow us on our social media. Instagram, we're on there. We're on X, TikTok, on all of them. Follow us on those platforms. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you give us likes here on the video as well. It helps support us. Helps get these streams out to more and more folks. And again, we can't thank you enough for all of your support of what we do here on JTN. As the battle for the lead continues to heat up here, Ryan Johnson starting to apply some pressure to the tailgate of Jeff Stennis.
Yeah, if there's anybody not worrying about saving their stuff right now, it's that 78 of Ryan Johnson. He's been on a tear here, now looking for the lead.
Could you call it a warpath?
It might be as Canis washes up here in turn 1. That's going to open up the door for Ryan Johnson down low side by side down the back straightaway.
Into turn 3 we go. Ryan Johnson takes over the race lead for the first time tonight, I do believe. No, second time tonight. 78 car, or truck, excuse me, has gone to the lead.
Good run there, restarted, I believe, in 5th spot, so didn't take long to get up there and get by for the lead. Now he's going to try and set a little gap here. Did you only go for day 1, Joe, or did you go for 2?
I only went for day 1. Yeah. I drove back and forth to Grand Rapids yesterday, so obviously didn't go yesterday, and then didn't want to go downtown 2 nights in a row, and then have to wake up at 6 a.m. Saturday morning.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Very cool experience, though. To sum up that, again, we'll post the video there, and I did little hits or whatever you want to call them. And we'll have that video together, but very cool experience if the Major League Sport draft comes to your town and looks like
yellow.
Oh no, I was blabbering and we got a caution. Oh, big damage for the 24 once again, and Dan Rubino also involved. Randy Smith slow as well. Big incident down here in turn 1 for the 44 truck of Rubino. And he just goes around by himself, Weaver.
Yeah, maybe just got in the corner a little too hard there for
Dino. Oh, Mopar.
That's a tough hit.
And 10 truck didn't end up getting involved, so apologies. That was in mistake, but there's some damage on that truck already.
I know these guys like hitting the wall on a corner exit. You never know when you might pick up a little damage here and there here at Dover. Get you a Darlington stripe and a Dover dent.
You don't like those Dover dents, though, right?
Nah, they don't help anything.
They don't help you as much.
Nah.
All the trucks coming down pit lane here under this caution. Bunch of two-tire calls here. Things are getting a little fun, Weaver. Upcoming races here on JTN, presented by our sponsor, Scheme Haven. The Budget Customs 200 Tuesday night, Maverick Cup Series from New Hampshire at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Then May 2nd, as the calendar turns to the 5th month of the year, Monster Racing Cup Series action heads to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time for that one. And then next Tuesday from Mexico City, it's the hashtag LMZ-I-M 180. Again, from the Mexico City Road Course, Maverick Night in America, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Those races, much, much more, of course, live right here, only on JTN, presented by our friends at SchemeHaven.com, your new source for motorsports paint schemes. Ron Simpson going to have control here for the restart. Duke Sorensen, Steve Rubino, Keith McLean, your top four. Ryan Johnson was the leader. He is now fifth after taking 4 tires. Everyone else in front of him has taken 2. Stack 'em and rack 'em, Weaver.
A little bit of re-rack, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What you go for when you re-rack a diamond?
Say it again?
Well, you want to... You ask for a re-rack, you ask for a diamond or what?
Sure.
Come on, Joe. You went to college.
By the zipper. I actually like that one better, because that one, it's like more, it's like they're all on the line, right?
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
All right. Ron Simpson with control here for the restart in that Simpson Fence Company 25 Chevrolet, coming back to lap 89 of 120 from Dover. Green flag, we're back racing. Keith McLean trying to get around Steve Rubino for third. He's really applying some pressure because he's got Ryan Johnson all over his tailgate.
Everybody's staying nice and tight here after this restart. I know we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of this one. 30 laps to go.
The nitty-gritty, you say?
Mm-hmm.
And a big moment there off the corner.
Keith McLean going low. He's going to complete that pass. Ryan Johnson going to follow suit.
I'm sure Keith was hoping that Ryan and Stekenis in this 31 truck, they'd get held up a little bit more, but right now Steve Rubino's stuck on the outside and he's losing positions quick.
Yeah, staying close. That's what you got to do here if you're trying to follow somebody through traffic.
You want to be like a bug on their bumper or something, I don't know. That was a terrible, terrible metaphor, wasn't it?
I mean, it wasn't terrible. I got what you meant.
Wasn't good, though. Alright, keep going.
Keith McLean's looking to keep going. He's got Duke in his sights here. Duke Sorensen there in second. Ron Simpson still your leader. He has a little bit of a gap back to second.
Oh, contact!
Duke Sorensen around. Backs it into the inside pit wall.
Caution. Well, we talked about differing strategies with tires. This time, two trucks that took two collide here. Looks like the 59 maybe gets a little loose, and the 28's already there, but tough to tell, Weaver, from that helicopter cam. If we go on board with Keith, might be able to get a different perspective, or first from our spectator cam. Here, high atop turn 4 grandstand.
Definitely looks like that 28 of Keith McLean just had a little better run off of turn 4 there and wasn't able to quite pull it low enough to get to the inside there of Duke Sorensen.
Heavy contact to the rear of that truck as well.
A tough break there for the 59. He'd been running well all day, working his way up through the laps here, and it's going to be a tough one to recover from. Truck's not going to drive the same with that rear end damage.
Oh, split strategies. The 78 comes down, but a lot of trucks staying out here, Weaver.
Yeah, it looked like Ryan Johnson was hoping a few more would follow him there. It looks like only 5 takers on pit road here. Sorry, 4. Can't count.
I can't either. It's okay. Must be our name.
Sorry, because there were 6 anyway, so.
What was that?
So that's alright, because there was 6. It was neither of the numbers I said.
Oh, well, you know. So with Ron Simpson staying out here, as well as Keith McLean and the 28, Mac Daddy. Those trucks have 2. 31 has 4. 2 tires on the 07, 4 on the 73, the 9 with 4, 11, 14. All 4 tires from the previous pit stops. Then after that, you got trucks with 4 tires from this round of pit stops under this caution. A mixed bag here in this field with roughly 20 laps to go when we get the green flag. Weaver, what kind of challenges does that present to maybe some of these truckers that are in the mid-pack, right kind of where that mixing is occurring?
I mean, it just makes it tough because you never know what you're going to get when you're trying to pass somebody, whether they're, slow on old tires, maybe slow trying to save their tires for a push at the end, or just a little fast. And there's just a lot going on in your mind that you got to pay attention to in these closing laps.
Do you almost want to just run it like you don't, like, you got to care, obviously, but do you almost wish that you couldn't or you didn't?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just tough here with 20 to go. It's kind of right on that edge where if you just go all out from here, you're going to be struggling those last 5 to 10 laps. So you still got to play it smart here.
Or just push the issue. Whichever one makes you have more fun, right?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely got to push the issue. You're not driving it like you were at the start of the race, but you might save that pass for another lap just to have a little extra tire.
I mean, interesting restart here again, coming to lap 100, so 21 officially laps to go here when we get the green flag. Simpson with control. Green flag, we're back underway. A lot of wheel spin from the leader. Everyone else, though, staying in line as we head down into turn 1.
Wheel spin from Ron Simpson, but he still gets away good, able to get a little gap there on McLean. Oh, heavy into the outside wall for Stakanis there in third.
Couldn't tell if that was Steve Rubino that also got into the wall. Here comes McLean looking for the lead to the inside of the 25 here, heading down the front straightaway.
Simpson doing a good job defending. Pinched him low there on exit. Didn't let McLean get a good run off.
Heard a lot about aero blocking here today in our NASCAR Cup Series race at Dover. Does that come into play with these trucks in NR2003, Weaver?
Not a lot. It's definitely a thing that exists, but it's nothing really noticeable. McLean staying tight there on the bumper. Now Stakanis now close in third. Top 3 under a blanket. Steve Rubino has gotten by for 4th as we got a caution.
Ten truck Randy Smith goes around by himself. Down in turns 1 and 2. Gives Allen to the outside of Duke Sorensen for a moment. See, Duke comes up the track a little bit, but no contact. 10 truck goes around, no contact with anyone behind him, but caution nonetheless here. That's going to set us up for a very interesting run to the finish. And for Ron Simpson, this is kind of what you want, right? A bunch of quick cautions helps you get rid of some of the laps. You know, it's your tires are pretty equal with the 28. Track position has been a big player, a big factor in this race as well. And then for those truckers that had just pit, maybe we're going to see some more. Wow, okay. Wow.
Interesting.
Ryan Johnson staying out.
Big break for Ryan Johnson. We saw him pit under the last yellow. He's going to cycle back up into second now. That's surprising, Joe.
Yeah, I'm perplexed.
Only going to be about 15 laps to go when we go back green here.
Ron Simpson, Ryan Johnson, Rob Heath, Duke Sorensen, and then the 77 of Daryl Johnston are your top 5. They've all stayed out here under this caution. Keith McLean was the first of the truckers to come down pit lane. He'll restart 6th. Jeff Stukenis, Herman Reese, AJ Hinsky, and Steve Grant, your top 10. Going back green, around 14 laps to go. Do believe. I think a lot of these trucks that stayed out are gonna start trying to get some heat back in the tires and set themselves up for hopefully a good restart here. Weaver, anything that you can do or that you'd recommend if you're a crew chief up on the box to your driver behind the wheel of their truck, of things they could do here on the restart to kind of help them with the wheel spin that everyone is experiencing?
Just maybe rolling into it a little more, not gunning that throttle as hard as possible. Other than that, really just being careful. You got to get on the throttle quick and hard here, so something you really just got to manage if it happens and hope that it doesn't.
All right, Ron Simpson with control here for the restart. Green flag, we're back underway. 14 laps to go here from Dover. Ryan Johnson heating up the tailgate of the 25 of Simpson. Rob Heath is right there, and he's to the inside of the 78 off of turn 2.
Moved by Heath there to get up into second now, side by side for the lead with Ron Simpson.
And Heath goes to the lead for the first time tonight in that Apple Doors number 7. He's a little bit loose off of turn 4. That's going to allow Johnson to get to his outside.
Moved by Johnson there on the outside, like you said, taking advantage of the little slip up by Heath. Now Ron Simpson goes up the track, and don't look now, there's the 28 of Keith McLean. He's up to 3rd.
Slice it and dice it here inside the top 5 for each and every position. They are oh so crucial as we close in on the end of this race. Just 12 laps to go.
He's trying to make the pass on the outside here in 1 and
7
2.
truck loose on the bottom.
Gathers it back up. That's going to make the pass easy for Keith.
Ron Simpson back to the inside. He'll take over 3rd. Duke Sorensen trying to follow him through, and Jeff Stukenis is kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place now, despite having the new tires.
Yeah, those new tires might make you a little faster, but you still got to find a way around these guys. That's the tough part. Ron Simpson doing a good job holding on there in 3rd. Ryan Johnson was able to get himself a good lead, but it's starting to disappear here with Keith McLean running him down.
So as we get there, it's 10 laps to go. It's our Death Craver 10 to go. You can read Death Craver now. It's available on Amazon and ZachRogersBooks.com. Chronicles the story of Enzo, a young racer who is approached by a mysterious agent to join a underground racing competition. Little does he know he's going to have to go against Death Craver, titular villain, and his deranged squadron of assault race car drivers and vehicles. Death Craver, you gotta go read it. It's available now on Amazon or ZachRogersBooks.com. 9 to go. And the top 2 have broken away from the field.
It's the top 2, and then everybody else led by Ron Simpson there in 3rd.
Caution. Gary Jackson around in turns 3 and 4. And he just got loose underneath Hinsky. Lucky not to make any contact with the 14. Here's a replay. What's the adrenaline right now, right? Weaver behind the wheel of these trucks.
I think all these drivers are just trying to calm themselves back down, kind of reach that base level to get back going here. Not gonna be too many laps left. Might just be maybe a 3-lap run to the finish here. A little more. Nobody coming down pit road this time.
No. I think it's a little too late for that, because if you get a caution, right, at this point, it's over.
Yeah, I think once we go back green, aside from the white flag, next flag will end it.
Business is definitely picking up, KJ. Ron Simpson right now leaving a big gap to the 28. And folks, if you haven't already, click the like button on the video and subscribe. Make sure you're following us here on JTN JoeTowNetwork. Click the bell icon to be notified when we go live. You can also follow us on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. We're going to go back green with 4 laps to go. Next flag would end the race in that case. Unless it's the white flag, then we'll get one more lap after that. But, yeah. It's gonna be a little fun here, won't it, Weaver?
Good finish.
And Ryan Johnson with control here. Big thank you to him for helping sponsor tonight's race by his donation back into the bin after winning the championship last year. So we appreciate the idea, and Ryan gonna go for a win here tonight in the 78 truck. 4 laps to go from the Monster Mile. Just 4 miles left. These fans here in the stands aren't going to use their seats. Hope you don't at home as well. Green flag. We're backing away in the 78's in the wall. And it's a troubled restart for most of the leaders, Weavers. They're already too wide, heading down into turn 1.
Yeah, nobody trying to roll on the throttle late here on this restart. Wanting to get it all Keith McLean getting up close to that wall off of turn 2. That's going to get a little bit of breathing room for Ryan Johnson here going through 3 and 4.
Rob Heath to the inside of Ron Simpson. He'll complete the pass for third. Back up front to the lead because it is a battle. Ryan Johnson there in the 78. Here comes Keith McLean on the outside.
I think Johnson saw that run. McLean got off of 4, went down to the low line. Figures it's going to be easier to defend down low.
What do you think, though, Weaver?
It's going well for him so far, side by side here through 3 and 4. Might be able to clear him here to going down the front straight.
McLean thought about a crossover, didn't have enough momentum. 2 laps to go here from Dover.
Is Keith going to be able to get to the inside here?
He is trying so hard, but the blocks are coming hot and heavy from the 78.
Big moment there on corner entry. 2 more sets of corners for Ryan Johnson to hold off this 28. We got some slow cars here up front.
Oh, the caution's out. Wait a minute. Did we take the caution?
I think they just did right that time around, Joe.
Oh.
As they were taking the white, they took the yellow.
Oh, so Ryan Johnson wins.
Ryan Johnson is our winner.
Replay of the incident here. Steve Urbino has some contact with Gary Jackson in 00. Ugh. They come back up the track. Johnston collected up in it in the 77.
Yeah, that yellow was out for a long time. We were just sleeping, Joe.
Well, what's new? So coming off of turn number 4, it's going to be Ryan Johnson taking home. Checkered flag here tonight from the Dover Motor Speedway. Keith McLean second. Rob Heath going to round out your top 3. Ryan Johnson, your winner here tonight. Good strategy calls there at the end. If this is where you have to say goodbye to us for the night, folks, make sure if you haven't already, please, oh please, click that like button on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. Again, doing so goes a long way and helps support what we got going on here on JTN. And as always, we can't thank you enough.
So, to Rob Heath, they're rounding out our podium. Didn't talk about him much tonight, but when it mattered, he was up there at the front, battling out with our leaders, getting a good finish.
Strategy can kill sometimes, Weaver. Kill you, or it can be your killer.
Make or break. That was a make for the 17.
Move on to our post-race coverage. Get results for you folks at home here in a few seconds. Again, can't thank you enough for tuning in to J10 tonight. Make sure, if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe. Doesn't look like we're gonna get burnouts from our race winner here this evening. So we'll start getting you those results on for your screens, and yeah, that's what we're gonna do, Weaver. Yeah. I feel like I got the cadence down, but I definitely don't have the voice. It's okay though. All right, let's go ahead and start and head on down into Victory Lane and talk with the driver of the number 78 Chevrolet, a race winner here tonight in Victory Lane, Ryan Johnson. Ryan, you got a copy?
10-4.
Buddy, congratulations on the checkered flag here tonight. It was a weird race, though, with some strategy calls. Take us through, though, there at the end, your call to come down. You took 4 tires, lost all the track position, and then a caution comes out and helps you cycle back up towards the front.
Yeah, well, I saw Keith do it earlier in the race, and we took a quite a long run there, and he was able to stay up in front. You know, it is Keith McLean though. I'm not a Keith McLean, but hey, I saw that he did that. I thought, you know what, we're only out here a few laps. I'm going to stay out get that track position back, because I honestly thought Moore would pit there when I did to take the 4, and it ended up working out. If it would have went green there another lap, I think Keith would have got me. I would have let him go. Got damn lucky I didn't lose it there with about 2 to go coming off of 4. He got to me outside, and I knew I could probably hold him at that point, and then the yellow came out, and I was like, I got this. So kudos to Keith. Just a fun race. It was an odd race. So, but hey, I'll take it.
How tough was that battle there at the end? Because you have to do a little bit of mirror drive and trying to see where he's getting his runs and when he's getting his runs, more importantly. At one point, he gets a really strong run off of turn 4, and you immediately, instinctively dive to the bottom to make sure you cover that line going down into turns 1 and 2, and for a lap, you guys are side by side. Right. 1, how intense is that? And 2, how do you kind of balance that defensive driving versus what's kind of, I don't want to say socially acceptable, but racer acceptable?
Well, you got, like I said, when it comes down to that, a couple to go, that's the time to do that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Some may agree with it, some may not, but I feel like I had to go low. I was going to give him the high line, and if he can get around me that way, that's fine. And I would give it to him, and we go from there. He would have got it had that yellow not came out. So, I mean, I'm not dumb. I know what I'm doing out here. Like I said, it may not be the most accepted thing, but hey, I'm trying to get a W against these guys, and sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So
no, we love it. So that's really, it's just my opinion and Weaver's opinion that matters. So don't worry about anyone else. I mean, we're the product. Right. I love it. I don't know. That's just me though, because there's it's a time and place.
I have Keith over Whisper, and I was already telling him, man, I'm shaking, and I don't do that very often. I do get some race wins. I'm not junk. I get some wins, but yeah, beating a Keith McLean or Herman Reese or Jeff Stanicus, and the list goes on. There's a lot of good drivers here at Hobo and other leagues I race at. Yeah, it gets intense, and you got to do what you got to do, and try and race clean and respectfully, and do what you got to do to get the W.
Well, get the W here tonight, Ryan. Congratulations on that. Also want to give you thanks. I know that you were part of kind of helping bring us out to the track here to broadcast tonight, so thank you for that. Before I let you go, though, I want to give you the opportunity. You got great partners on the car, got great folks to shout out. The floor is yours. You know what to do.
Yeah, just a shout out to Brothers Body and Paint, my company, my sponsor, and Sickens, obviously, and all my friends that do kind of join in. I don't think I had anyone watching really tonight. And but yeah, just everyone at Hobo, and you as well we're always supporting the NR2003 community. That's what it's all about. So thank you.
Well, Ryan, again, congratulations on the big win here tonight. Always a pleasure to get the opportunity to talk with you. Can't thank you enough for your time. Now go celebrate that big W, and hope we're talking with you again soon.
All right, 10-4. Have a good night, guys. Thank you.
Ryan Johnson, driver the number 78, your race winner here tonight. Let's go ahead and next head in and talk with our second place finisher. He's the driver of the number 28, Keith McLean. Mac Daddy, you got a copy.
Mac Daddy!
Man, second place, I think it's a caution flag, a lap away from a checkered flag, and a race win. How do you look back at that last 4-lap run, mad dash to the finish?
Well, I felt like I got robbed.
Is that
Just
simple?
Think about it. Pit road, green flag pit stop. As soon as I get on pit road, caution comes out. Got to go all the way to the back. Get all the way back up there. And I told Ryan, I said, let's have some fun. And he's like, okay. But I couldn't get by him. It was fun. I like racing with Ryan. We had a good time. It just sucked.
Well, I mean, you talked about going to the back because of the caution flag coming out while you're down on pit road. You also lost the track position when the leader, Mark DeSenza, blows up right in front of you coming off of turn 4, and obviously you're swerving to avoid him, probably some oil down on the tires and whatnot. But how are you able to be resilient here tonight? Is it kind of that same idea of, I know I'm good and I got this, that we've talked about in the past, or does Dover present some unique things for you to do to kind of keep that confidence and get yourself back to the front like you were able to do so successfully here tonight?
I feel about like Jimmy Johnson when I come to Dover. I can win every time I show up. Dover, I am pretty decent at Dover. So I'm always confident. You got to have confidence at the track you go to. If you don't have no confidence, you're just messed up. But I knew I had to race one. I didn't have no doubt, and I still finished second. But hey, it is what it is.
Second place is still a great finish, Keith, and we still love getting the opportunity to talk with you. Congratulations on the second place run. Before we let you go, though, I want to give you the opportunity. Great partners on the car, great folks behind you. The floor is yours. You know what to do.
Shout out to Bush Ice, baby. Ice, baby. Shout out to Steve and Rose Urbino. We never hear about Rose. That is the pants behind the man. She keeps him tight. Shout out y'all boys, everybody that makes this stuff happen. Shout Ryan Johnson, great run tonight, good win. I think he used his money from winning last year for this race, so it's fitting that he won. So I would have felt really bad if I would have wrecked him. So yeah. So Mac Daddy backed her down a little bit back to Keith, and he got the win.
Well,
there you go.
Hey, Keith, again, man, congratulations on the second place run here tonight. Always a pleasure to talk with you and the energy that you bring into the booth. Congratulations on it. Hope we're talking with you again soon. Again, can't thank you enough for your time.
Thank you, boys. Mac Daddy!
Keith Mac Daddy McLean, your second place finisher here tonight from Dover. Let's go ahead and finally bring in our third place finisher. He's the driver of the number 7, Rob Heath. Rob, you got a copy? Uh-oh. Rob, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Okay, there we go. Sorry, that was probably on our ends with the microphones. But man, third place finish here tonight for you, Rob. What a lot of strategies kind of were at play there at the end. You do a great job of managing the different tires and whatnot on everyone's trucks up there at the front. How'd you pull off this third place finish here tonight?
Well, we didn't qualify that day. We qualified 15th. At the beginning of the race, my car was just pushing like crazy. And every time I had a chance to pit, we got 4 tires. We would take 2, but just crucial. So let's keep taking 4. Let's keep putting 4. And that's what we did. And when that one, and I got a lap down earlier, so I got the lucky dog from a caution. So put me right back in it. And then right near that second restart to the last, Ryan and Ron got loose on the start, and I got underneath them, took the lead. But my car started getting loose on that last set of tires, and I lost that lead. And at the end, I just kept the low line, keep the other cars from passing me. But it was a tough race for us today. We struggled, but the crew kept me in the race, and we just fought hard.
Well, fight hard, you get that third place finish. That has to feel so gratifying. How important is the podium here tonight at Dover, knowing how hectic and chaos filled this race was at certain points in it, and that you're able to persevere and get that third place finish?
I tell you, Dover is a tough track. I have won here before in Craftsman Truck Series, and I'll tell you, it's just one tough track. And you know, Keith, he's the king at Dover, and Ryan did a hell of a job holding him off at the end now. And I was in third place, but I still got to see a hell of a race between them 2 guys for the finish. And so I'd like to thank my sponsors, Apple Door Systems. Thank the HOBO Racing League for all they do. I tell you, you can't ask for a better bunch of drivers and guys to race with. And I took a year off last year and got me a new ride. I was without a ride last year. I got me a new ride this year, and I'm just happy to be back and trying to get back 4 times.
Well, Rob, we're happy you're back, man. Congratulations on the podium here tonight. Pleasure getting the opportunity to talk with you. And, man, hope we're talking with you again soon. And, again, can't thank you enough for your time.
Thank you. Y'all have a great one.
Rob Heath, driver the number 7, your third place finisher here tonight. Weaver, that's going to wrap up our coverage here from Dover. Another successful HOBO Racing Truck Series event live here on JTN. I mean, how do you sum that one up?
I think that was just a classic Dover race, good start to finish. We got some good racing, so some good strategy, a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. That's what you get here on JTN. Remember to make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the action. The next time we are live is going to be Tuesday night with our friends over in the Maverick Cup Series from New Hampshire. You can also follow us on our social media. Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, at JoeTowNetwork. Nice and simple for you. Go check us out on those platforms. With all that being said, though, folks, we'd again always like to send out our thank yous to our admin team, Steve Rubino here at Hobo Racing. He does a fantastic job getting us set up. Has this place so organized. They have the great website. You can go to hoboracing.com to stay up to date with everything. The owning and running and kind of being that head admin is such a labor of love for a lot of these guys, and Steve does a fantastic job each and every year, each and every week. And again, can't thank him enough and his entire team for bringing us out and giving us the privilege of calling what was another fantastic race. With all of that being said, though, folks, can't thank you enough for tuning in. For all of us here at JTN, for Bristol, our producer, for my colleague Joseph Weaver, I am Joe Twansky. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time live right here on JTN. So long for now, folks.
3 wide for second, but Sean Whitehill is going to bring it home and win the race at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Ricky J closing up off turn 4. He's going to have a run to the inside. He blocks into the grass. Checkers out. Hardy wins it.
Ricky, what's going on in your brain right now?
Yeah, putting on 4 big rubber shoes and 2 gallons of, 2 gallons, 2 cans of exploding dino juice here, Joe.
Down to the tunnel turn. These guys are throwing it through there and around to the back the wall, as well as RJ Bishop. Down in front of Keith Hughes. Oh, no! Big hit. RJ Bishop. Oh, my.
Oh,
Ricky
big
J,
wreck.
big crash into the wall.
Oh,
the leaders
no.
have wrecked. Ricky J is upside down. Magoo is hard on the wall. Tyler Mallon escapes with no damage. Everybody else in this main group, including Nelly, is junked.
Through the north chute they'll go. The 24's into the wall. Almost contact there. The 10 with the shallow entry into turn 4. It's going to be a drag race down the front straightaway. Folks, the 24's in the wall. They make contact. Turn around. Napick goes on through the flip. Rich Napick's going to win the Culver Block 200 in thrilling fashion.